Hello everybody, we are live. So welcome to, this is just a little sneak peek of where I am. My name is Jibril and I am the host today. And this is, and as you guys maybe can see, this is a pretty awesome little setup. So at where you can see right now, this is Henrik. He is one of the guys from Focus Nordic. He will be answering a lot of the questions we will have. And here we have Klaus and then a picture-in-picture. Klaus, can you take the main view now?
Okay.
Perfect, thank you. My name is Jibril and I'm a Focus Nordic ambassador. I'm also, I also own a production company called Light Motions. With me here I have Peter Makholm. Peter is a Panasonic HS1H ambassador. And you're also a YouTuber that talks a lot about gimbals.
Yes.
And a good friend of mine as well. And Henrik is from Focus Nordic, as I told, and Klaus is as the man behind the magic buttons, and he's actually from a production company called Film Plus. We are actually here because we have a gimbal we want to show you. This is actually the setup. It's the brand upgrade of the first Crane 2. And this is made possible because Focus Nordic and Zhiyun actually made all of this possible. Also, it's really awesome because we are actually live on 20 different social media channels at once at the moment. So everybody shows almost and have a chat with already and answer all the questions. If I can't also answer all the questions, Henrik will be there to type them or tell them to me so I can actually tell them out to you. Again, thanks for that. We are actually giving away one of the Crane 2S today. So people can comment down below and at some point in the stream we will actually choose a winner that can win the gimbal. And that's a pretty awesome thing to do. But I think this is, as I mentioned before, and Peter, you're more than welcome to help me a little bit here. It's the brand new Zhiyun gimbal Crane 2S.
Yes.
It's a quite awesome setup.
And the funny thing is,
you had 3 days with it.
Yeah.
And when Henrik called us, we didn't know at all that it was coming. It was like, whoa, we didn't knew that, and right away both of us actually drove to the office because we wanted to see it right away.
And we were talking about the form factor.
Yeah, factor the same as the Crane 2, and now just the S version as a more powerful thing. So if we go through it, let me just power it down. Klaus, can you give me the top view?
Oh, I can.
So we're we just have some small technical issues. We think we are up and running again, and thank you for following along. Again, if you comment down below, you have a chance for actually winning the new Crane 2S. So stay tuned. At some point in the stream, we will actually choose a winner of the gimbal. So people, let us know if the stream is okay now. I think the backing a no from there. People are clapping over here. Please let us know in the comments if everything is good. And what is my backlog saying over there, Henrik? Is everything looking good on the stream? Okay. People are saying, okay, well, we will just continue, and if it's as I mentioned, the gimbal actually have the opportunity to actually mount your phone the vertical mode.
Not the phone, the camera.
The camera on the vertical mode, which actually makes it possible for us to have Instagramming, vlogging, what do you call it, with a gimbal. It's quite up and in to have Instagram stories shoot like on a camera. I actually did it in a while as well. The thing I'm actually in love with is that this gimbal, as the same as the Zhiyun Crane 3S, it have an extension arm, so it makes it possible to actually have bigger cameras on.
Yeah, but anyway, you can see we have an S1 there.
You can see there, we are on the side camera there. Yeah.
With the configuration here, you can see there's a lot of room for the S1H to actually move around. So you really don't need a bigger setup, right?
Yeah, let's talk about that later. We are going to talk about that for sure. People are asking what camera we are here, and the camera is actually a S1, a cage on it, and the gimbal can actually take it without any problem at all. If we take the top view, let's see if we can get. Perfect, we did figure it out. Long story short, we did figure it out. Klaus, I'm not getting a picture on my screen over here. Can you help me with the Streamlab or the Stream Deck? Perfect. Perfect, we are back. Can people hear us? Seriously sorry about the problems we are having. It is a really big live, so there sometimes can be issues. But let's continue. If people can hear us and the audio is back, buffering still I can hear. The buffering part can be, of course, because the internet is not the best. So it can be from the side of the people that's watching, or it can also be from do our best to actually figure out what we can do about it. Anyhow, let's continue. I think we got through the gimbal for the most part. Which one of the things that we also they didn't change, which I actually like, is that it's still the same batteries. So you can use, if you have a Weebill S or a Crane 3S, you can use the same batteries. Both, as I mentioned before, both Peter and I had the opportunity to have. You had it in 3 days, and I had it for 1 day, and we actually shot something with it that we want to show you. So Peter. Yeah. Let's see what you did. Klaus, can you show us what Peter made?
Yeah, and I actually shot that video because it was a job that I needed to do. So I took the gimbal straight away from the office, went out and shot that, adjusted the settings. And the reason why I want to show it, and it works in the way you want it to work. So most of this was shot in 60p, and I know that a lot of people, we want to see 24 frames per second footage. Yes, and it works well with that as well. But I just wanted to show that it works in real life scenarios where you're actually going to use the gimbal.
That's true. I had the opportunity to also work with the Crane 3S.
Yeah.
And now the Crane 2S. Yeah. What are you feeling the difference between the gimbals here?
I really like the form factor of the Weeble S because you got the underslung mode. So I was a bit curious. I have to say, when I use this one, there's something about it. It's more smooth than the Crane 3S and the Weeble S. So I really enjoyed working with this. As soon as you get the handle on, if you don't have a side handle on, it's really hard to work with it in the stick mode. You can actually also see the screen right here. So most of the time I didn't use an external monitor on it. I just used the screen on the S1H or the GH5S. I used 2 cameras that day to shoot with it. So it works very well when you work with it in this upright position. And the good thing about it is, when you need to rest it, you can just rest it right here.
Here it works pretty good with the Blackmagic 4K and Blackmagic 6K as well, because the arm in the button here, you can actually turn it right and left quite a lot.
Yeah.
So you actually have the opportunity to mount a Blackmagic pocket Blackmagic on it, because the Blackmagic pocket.
Why?
That's the thing.
Even the Crane 3S has problem with the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K. But this, in their advertisement, the 6K is on there. So we know they've made it so it'll fit with the 6K or the 4K.
I know anything like that, but I had the opportunity to actually work with the gimbal as well, and I shot a little piece that I guys wanted to show you. Again, it's rough cut. It's just the first cut of something I just made. So Klaus, would you run the before? Oh, wait until you do that.
Yeah, one thing we also talked about is that running and there's no stabilization or anything.
No, not at all any stabilization. I did put it in 50 frames, but I also did it 25 frames so you guys can see the difference between the two. So Klaus, can you run my video? It should be set up correctly. So yeah, we were out here and shooting. It was we did half an hour shoot, really fast. And as you can see, it's really easy to work with. It was easy to set up a shot and just do it. The parallax movements, the up and down, where you go down with the gimbal and look up, and again the up and down from side of a person, it really easy to see. In just a little, you can see I start running, And I'm actually running with it in the hand, and that was the video you guys saw. It's a full-on run with the gimbal in one hand, and it was rock steady. I was quite impressive with it. So it's just running again. Klaus, can you give us the main view? So yeah, to have a gimbal that can do that, I'm pretty sure that the Crane 3S and the Weebill can do it the same. The thing is that the Crane 3S is so bigger of a gimbal.
But you can't do that on the Weebill S. I promise you, you can't run like that and get the same image with the Weebill S as you just.
What would you say would be the difference between the three lineup? This is the lineup, I will say. So we have the Weebill S here, as people can see here. Klaus, can you give us the close-up on Peter? We have the Weebill S here. It's have a GH5 with a Zhiyun anamorphic 50mm. And this is a quite little setup. It's really small, and it can have, you can put it on the backpack. It can fit on the backpack almost in the back pocket. It's really, really small gimbal.
Yeah, so this one is great for travel, or if you just want something light, and it still can take quite a big load. So it's not a bad gimbal. I love this gimbal, and I use it very much.
Same.
This one over here, it's a bit bigger. I would use this more for production stuff because you need more space to carry this around, and it can take a lot of different cameras.
That's true. The S1H would have trouble to actually be on the Weebill S, right?
Yeah, you can't.
Okay,
it's not possible.
I mainly shoot with the A7S III,
yeah.
And it can fit on the Weebill S, but I can't have anything else on it because it's too much. So for the most part, I use the Crane 3S. But now we have the Crane 2S, which is a really good knife. So let's talk about the Crane 3S a little bit. Just like the lineup here is quite awesome. I have mine set up here with FS5. Setup. It's a big setup, and I have it in inward. So I like this setup because it gives you really easy. Oh, let me just move this one out so you guys can see what I'm holding here. It's a quite big setup, but again, it's also quite big camera, and I'm rock steady with the camera, and that's awesome. And it's quite awesome to have the opportunity to do it. So I would say this gimbal is more for people, or not for people, but this gimbal is more for more cinema lineup of cameras.
Yeah, of course.
It have the opportunity. I actually mounted a FX9 on it with a big battery. It's quite a long one, so that's one thing too to think about. It can hold quite big of the things.
Yeah, I actually never take this along. Only if I do real estate shoots and
okay.
I know where I can set it down, or else it's too big to carry around, I think. So this one comes in very handy, I'd say.
There are some accessories that are actually coming out with the Crane 2S as well.
Yeah.
So some of the accessories that's coming out is there's coming a new focus motor and zoom motor on it.
Yeah.
Isn't that true? So at the moment we have the Lite and the Max,
yeah.
And it works with the gimbal, but something about it, it can't figure out which is which. So you can only have one at a time on the older focus motors on. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Henrik, support me if I'm saying something wrong here.
I couldn't get the Lite to work, but that could be a software issue, or but the Max is working perfectly. So
okay.
Let's see what they're coming out when the new motors are coming out.
But yeah, they're coming to October. They're coming out with some new motors.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the next thing they're also coming out with to October is a new video transmission kit.
All right.
Where they worked a lot on the receiver end, where they made it better, and I think maybe smaller. I'm not sure. But let's see, we haven't seen it. Both of us haven't seen any footage of it. It's only something we have heard from Zhiyun themselves. They just told us this morning while we were setting up the studio here that there is coming some new accessories for the gimbal. You also, of course, have a new handle, side handle, for the Crane 2S. This is the old one that I have.
And that's something I've been talking a lot about, if there's anyone following my channel, is the side grip. And now finally Zhiyun includes that in one of the packages.
That's true.
You'll get a side grip with the Crane 2S, which I think is just brilliant.
Yeah, the Crane 2 also comes in two different kits. It comes in a combo and it comes in a normal kit. The combo actually gives you the side grip and some extra batteries with it, so that's quite awesome. And I know that in October there's coming a Pro version to it, and the Pro version would have much more in it, so like a battery grip or a battery extension plate like the 3S have. So let's see. We don't know 100% what the different things would be that are coming, but we are looking forward to seeing that. Let's take some comments. There's a whole lot of comments, I think. Yeah, okay, let's say. People saying, awesome gimbal. What would you recommend as a first gimbal when you're just starting out? Well, I would say that depends on what you're shooting. Yeah. If you're shooting commercials, or if you're shooting small videos for small companies, or what camera you're shooting with as well.
I would say it depends on what camera you're using.
Yeah.
If you're using a small camera, I would just go with the Weebill S. If you're using a camera this size, I would definitely go with something like that.
And if you're using a FS5 or something like that, go with the bigger one.
So, but the Weebill S is really easy to work with, so that's a nice starter gimbal if you have a small camera. But this one again, it works very well. I like that one. So
it depends on what camera you're going to use on it. What more doing? Compatible with the transmount. The transmount, what is that? Can you help me that? What does it mean with the transmount?
Yeah, the transmount is the transmount can be that's probably the transmission system.
Oh, probably, yeah. That probably means the transmission system.
So
as we just said,
we don't know if it's compatible. It should be compatible with the old transmission system.
Yeah, we actually don't know if it is.
No, it isn't.
Okay, I'm just hearing in my ear that it isn't compatible with the one right now. That's maybe also one of the reasons they're coming a new transmission kit out in October where it should be compatible with. Advantage over the siblings, I think we did go over that. I don't hope that people are having technical issues with the stream at the moment. Again, please put some comments in. You will have the abilities to win a Crane 2S in the stream. We will choose one of the people who has commented at one point in the stream. So stay tuned and stay on, and we will choose one winner. Again, what would you say the compatible, the competition for this gimbal is?
It's definitely the Ronin S, and I think that's why they made it, because the Ronin S is a popular gimbal, and this one comes just into that category where you can get a big camera on, but it is quite a bit lighter than the Ronin S, and I haven't used the Ronin S that much, so I don't want to talk bad about it, but I just know it's nearly the same size, and the form factor that a lot of people like the form factor of the DJI Ronin S, and that's probably why this one comes out now.
Yeah. Also, one thing I actually like about this one, better than the 2S, no, the 2, not the S version, is the locking arms. Yep. Because if I can get the top view, Klaus, let's see if we can show people about the new locking. So right here, all the places on the gimbal, I have a new locking system. It's not the same as the 3S versions, but it's still much better than the 2 from the Crane 2. It's not a hinge you have to turn, it's just a lock. And then it will go lock in where it actually is. I think it's down here, there, and it's locked there. Also, one thing I thought when I saw this, all the locks are on the same side.
Yeah, we talked about that, and I've been talking about that a lot. Why isn't the lock so you can see them? And that's the first thing we talked about, is that, hey, the lock's on the same side.
That's true.
But as soon as you set it up, the lock disappears.
That's true.
But when you're working with it, you get to know where it is.
That's true.
Yeah.
So isn't it about that being there where you see? When you put it down in the cage, that would be where the locks should be on the same side, because then you can lock them.
Yeah, but you have to take it 100% apart if you have to put it back in the cage. You can't set it up and put it in. You have to unbalance it and rebalance it again when you take it out.
People are actually saying the stream is going well now. That's good. But Peter's mics is a little bit low. That should be fixed now. People are also asking about the modes this gimbal can go in.
Yeah, it has the same modes as you know from the other Zhiyun gimbals. It has the pan follow as the follow. It got POV, it got vortex, it got the 360 mode. And one thing they've changed is this button here. Normally you had to choose between click or hold.
That's true.
Now you can, in the menu, you can choose to have both. So you can click it to go into follow, and you can click back, but you could also just hold it and it goes into follow and you can release it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So
and
now
before, that's right, you have to tweak it in the software or in the gimbal before.
Yeah,
another thing also, you can tweak everything from the screen here.
Yeah, that's just...
You don't need the app or anything else to actually... you don't have to need anything else. You can actually see on the little brighter and bigger screen here, if I can get it in focus right there, it's much better, and you can actually do everything on the screen here. You can tweak it quite well.
And that's one of the things you can't do in the Crane 3S. You can do that on the Weeble S, and that's the thing I love. You can go in and tweak all the custom settings you want. And that you can do as well on the Crane 2S. And the screen is bigger and the letters are easier to read.
That's true.
It's very nice.
I don't know if it's a more dense screen. Maybe it is.
It's an OLED screen.
Yeah, it's an OLED screen.
And it's a 0.96, I think.
Okay. You can also do in vertical mode, right? Turn it upside down.
Yeah, you can do it in vertical mode.
We actually tried that the first time when we did it. The way you actually do it is that if you have the extension plate on, it's quite easy to go in upside down mode, undersling mode, if you will call it that. Yeah. But if you don't have it, let me just show you. If you have a gimbal that are more heavy on the right side, it will go into itself. So you then have to unlock it and put it on the other side and then lock it again. Again, when you have the extension plate on, it's not an issue. If you don't have it, it would be a little bit issue because then you have to rebalance it upside down. Yeah. But it can, yes, it can go in that mode. Again, people are asking about battery runtime.
Yeah, I fully charged the batteries when I got it on Friday or Thursday. Yeah, it was Friday, and then I ran it for 3 days, and then I handed it over to you.
Yeah.
And there was still battery left.
Actually shot the two movies there without charging it.
Yeah, and I also shot an extra real estate. So I used it for 2 real estate projects.
That's awesome.
2 full days.
Yeah. I'm hearing in my ear that it can actually go for 12 hours straight.
Yeah, it works fine.
And again, it's the same batteries as before, so you can just change the batteries if you have a Weeble S or get some extra batteries. They are really common batteries, the 1860 something. I can't remember the exact name of the gimbal. Again, you can buy the combo set. The combo set is with the dual grip, the extra grip, and also with extra batteries in it. And again, to October, there will be a Pro kit as well, as we know of at the moment. One of the things that I actually noticed when I got it in my hand was that it's so lightweight.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was the first thing I said when Henrik gave it to me in the hand. It's carbon fiber.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's 2 kilos. That's set up there without the camera on, of course, and it's very easy to work with. And
I really noticed that, and that's a quite big thing to have, to be able to actually have a gimbal that not that heavy. Of course, we have a quite heavy camera on it at the moment, and also a video transmission kit with a heavy battery, but it's possible to have and run quite a while.
Yeah, I had no trouble using it for 3 hours straight when I was shooting this real estate shoot, and I didn't have this one off, of course. I had a screen on sometimes, but it works well as well.
Again, as we also talked a little bit about before, we now have a finished lineup for, I would say, almost every camera we have out there. There is, of course, bigger RE, Red, and so on that maybe can't go on the bigger models, but at the moment we have the Weeble S that goes to a long range of cameras, up, I would say, up to the S1H, and the Crane 2S can still, and the Crane 2S can still have all the cameras we have on the Weeble S, but also bigger cameras like the Blackmagic 6K, the Blackmagic Pocket 4K, the S1H with a cage on it, and so much more. And the set camera as well. It's a little pocket sized cube cinema camera. And then you have the Crane 3S that actually can hold quite big heavy loads. At the moment it have a FS5 on it with a V-Lock battery on the backside and a 85 millimeter, what do you call it, 85 millimeter lens on it from Zhiyun. It's a quite big setup.
But you already feel the weight when you take it down.
Yeah.
So you can't work with this for a long time. You need a stand so you can rest sometimes.
That's true.
Or another person to hand it over to.
Yeah, that is true.
But it works very well in this underslung mode.
It does. And let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some updates that actually comes to the Crane 3S. Because the Crane 3S, both of us have actually worked a lot with it and experimented on ways to actually have it. So this one, let me just put this one a little bit aside here. So this one is, as you can see, in underslung mode, and then it inverted.
Yeah.
So I have the grip on the back side. Then I'm also using a dual grip from Small Rig, and then a handle on top. So I actually have the opportunity to just go down if I want to. Yeah.
But the reason why it works like this is because the Crane 3S is made to also work in this mode.
That is true.
It's not all gimbals that are made to work in this mode, so the motors and everything works very well.
Let's take the C-stand over here so we have it closer to us. Because so let's see here. Again, as Peter said, it's really good to have it inverted. It's made for having cameras upside down in this way. This way you also could put it on jibs, on car rigs, upside down, and have a really good setup with that.
And one good thing about having it like this is that you can add an easy rig.
That's
and
true.
You can hand it on to the handle here, and then you can probably work with it for a longer time. Because
That's true.
Then you get the weight on your back instead of.
So on my setup, this is my setup at the moment, and I have a NATO clamp up here, and the handle is NATO as well. So if I want an easy rig, I can just move the handle up the other way around, and the monitor will come closer to me, and then I have an arm for the easy rig to go on. And if I want a ready rig, that is something we're actually experimenting with as well, where Small Rig have a ring that actually should be possible to mount the gimbal upside down as well. And when you have a ring, you should be able to mount a ready rig on it. The ready rig is more made for heavier gimbals, so you don't get that up and down motion, and it's not because the weight is gone, it's still on you. The weight is just distributed better on your body, so you can actually go longer with it.
Yeah, it goes all the way down to your hips.
Yeah, precisely. Another thing that we have on the Crane 3S here is the battery thing. I think this is pretty awesome. So this is it's not a V-mount battery, but it have a V-lock, so you can mount it here on the side with the V-lock mount. It have D-tap out to the gimbal, and through the gimbal you can, for example, if you take the A7S III, you can power the gimbal through the camera through the gimbal, and also it have an extra D-tap, so you can power something like a monitor up here. So I have here the Ninja Atomos, and I could, if I had the right cable, actually power the monitor for the same battery. It also have DC out and USB out. And what's inside of this is pretty awesome. Inside of this we have 6 of the same batteries that actually the Crane 3S, the Crane 2S, and the Weeble S works with. So if you have some spare battery, you can actually have this bad boy running for a lot of hours. I think this battery runs alone 18 hours without the internal batteries that actually are 12 hours as well. And that's a pretty awesome little grip thing you can have there. Yeah. You can also just use the arm as put a V-lock battery on, if a remount battery on, and use the D-tap out if you want that.
We got a. If Jimmy, could you please? You were asking what is the option for mounting? Is that on the Crane 2S? You're asking. Then we got a payload. Yeah, the payload between the 3S and the 2S. The 3S is 6.2.
I don't think that I think Zhiyun are going away from putting out the payload, and I think it's because the gimbals are not really made with payload in mind. It's more about the form factors on the camera.
And we can see that with the pocket camera, because
That's true.
You have a quite big camera here, but if you mount the pocket camera, you have trouble with the stabilization.
That's true.
So it is. They have the compatibility list, which you have to look up into to see if your setup fits with the cameras.
They also have, Zhiyun have a compatible list on the website. You can see which cameras they are compatible with, both the Weebill S, the Crane 2S, and the Crane 3S as well.
Yes. But I actually looked it up yesterday, and the S1H, they say that is only compatible with the 24-105, but I shot with it with the 24-7 without any problems. So
without any problem.
Yeah, you can see the motors can handle it. Yeah,
it does have. As I'm getting, it does have much more powerful motors than the Weebill S as well.
Yeah.
So that is. Jimmy is asking about the mounting on the 2S.
We've got the 2 mounting points on the side.
Yeah, we have the 2 mounting points. The what do you call them? I will call them Zhiyun RE plates.
Yeah.
It's not the real RE because they're bigger, but you have the option to mount if you can get the top view. Yeah, we're just getting the top view there. We have the RE on Quad 20 and the same on the other side, and I actually mounted a NATO claim on it for actually having the video transmission kit on it. You can also get some accessories from, for example, Small Rig that actually makes it option. I think we have one here down here. Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Where you can put it on the end, and then you have much more mounting points on the side. On the bottom, and the same with the other one here. So that's something I would 100% keep in mind and have around, because that's an awesome way to actually put other things on your gimbal. Because a lot of times when we're actually shooting, can we get the main view? A lot of times when we're actually shooting, it ended up having a lot of other things on it. I don't know with you, but I also have a mic on it, I have a monitor on it, I have a video transmission kit if I have a director that wants to follow along or something like that.
Yeah, I try to keep mine very minimal, because each and every gram you add onto it will increase the overall weight of the gimbal, not just with 1 gram, but that's physics.
That's true. That's true.
So I usually only have a monitor on if I have any accessories, and sometimes a mic if I need the audio. But also I'm just shooting with it straight up.
Again, remember, ask some questions. We are choosing a winner. I don't think. I think actually we should go ahead and choose a winner now, shouldn't we? What does Henrik say over there? I think our guest, Peter,
how are we going to do it?
I think the way we should do it is to basically just go up and down the screen here.
Yeah.
And at some point you're going to say stop and put your finger on the screen, and we will put down the person. Be sure if that person isn't here and can't answer. So if we choose you, tell us down in the comment, hey, thanks, or something like that. Then we know you're here, and then we will go contact you directly on Facebook or on by your name or something like that, so you can get the gimbal. Again, it is a chance for winning the brand new Crane 2S. So if I just go up and down, let's. Then you can just choose. Put a finger on your screen and see.
Stop.
So, Robbie Hekilia. Sorry if I can't pronounce it the right way.
I think it's. Could it be
Robbie?
Finland, something like that? Yeah. But if you hear Rob, just comment down below.
Yeah, comment down below if you're here. I don't know if you said it the name right. How would you pronounce that? Robbie?
Robbie
Hekili?
Yeah, I don't
know. Robbie, if you're here, please let us know. Let's give him, we have a 30-second delay, so let's give him a minute or two. And if it isn't here, we are going to choose a new winner.
Thanks, I really need it.
But yeah. Peter, if a lot of people I have seen that actually works with the gimbal, a lot of times they just go around the whole shoot with the gimbal. That's not right, is it?
No. You have to switch between handheld and gimbal. You don't need to use the gimbal at all times.
Can you give us some tips about how to actually use a gimbal then? Movements.
Yeah, I come from the glide cam world, so all my movements come from that. Oh no,
that's not the right winner.
So when you use the gimbal, you should always remember to try to walk smoothly.
The ninja walk, a lot of people say that.
But a good thing, you can look at it like this. If you're on the bar and you need to get three beers to your bodies down in the end, you will have to walk very slowly with that. That's kind of the same thing you're going to go with when you're going with the gimbal.
That's true.
Working with it like that. So smooth movement, and try to use your upper body instead of just walking around. So if I needed to shoot something over there, I would kind of move the whole body instead of moving with my feet.
That's true.
So you have a lot
because
of
then you
give.
I don't know if you tried this one, but let's say you have some handheld shot. A lot of time you move your whole body and you end up being like unbalancing, and then you go to unbalance and then catch yourself because then you have the shot. Have you done that a lot of time? I've done that a lot of time.
I do that handheld, not that much on the gimbal.
Yeah, that's true.
Stabilized, but that's a good way to get stabilized footage if you don't have a gimbal.
Yeah, people are asking for the Crane 2 more in action.
Should we switch to the
gimbal mode? Yeah. Ulrich Skay is asking if it's Robbie Hickey. And that is true. It was him, but he's not answering at the moment. We'll just give him 2 more minutes, and if he's not answering, we will choose a new winner. So yeah. Peter, give us a little bit tips and tricks about how to use it.
Yeah, there's not that much to it actually. I can use the triggers just to move very,
Klaus, can we get the S1H gimbal view?
Yeah.
It should be up on the screen there. Perfect.
There we
you
go.
Guys can see me now.
If I needed to do a parallax of Jibril right here, I would kind of know where I was going. I need to go over there. So I would already have my step over there and start from here and just work my way around him. Very smoothly.
And then you give that smooth action there, yeah.
Because 100%. My feet is not moving, it's only my upper body that's moving around, and I'm turning the gimbal very smoothly right there.
That's true. It looks very smooth as well, and I'm 100% sure that it looks smooth on the camera as well.
I can try to do a push-in right here. If you go a little bit back.
We still have everything in picture.
I do it in a lock mode.
Why do you use the lock mode for doing push-in?
Because then the gimbal is not moving anywhere. It just goes straight, even though I'm moving the hand a little bit.
When I actually did the run in the video I showed before, I actually did it while doing it in lock mode as well.
Yeah, it works very well.
It does.
But just to see how smooth it is, you just walk very straightly.
It looks very smooth. It looks like a chicken head when all the body is moving, but the camera is still slow.
Yeah.
That's some of the movement.
Did you mention? Yeah, you mentioned the arm.
I did mention the arm. Yeah, the extension arm.
So when you don't have that arm, you have a clear view. If you get that on, the arm goes here. It's actually blocking the screen a bit.
That's true.
But here you can see you can go down without any problems. So you don't need to go into an inverted mode.
That's true.
If you just need a low shot, you can just lower it down like that.
And then have it there. Yeah, that's true.
The one thing I liked with this one is actually the straight arm. If you need to go down, you can rest it on your arm.
That's true, and have it as an extension arm for you. That's true.
Works very well.
Let's see if Robbie did answer. I don't think he did. So let's choose a new winner, and then we can show off the footage actually we shot before. So again, close your eyes or something like that, and I will go up and down, and you just choose a winner.
Stop.
Ani Chang. Ani Chang, if you're here, let us know. We will show you.
I changed my rope.
Ani Chang, if you're here, comment down below, and you will actually be the winner of a brand new Crane 2S. But in the meanwhile, let's just run both of our movies that actually, or videos that we made. Klaus, can you run Peter's movie? that was it was much more smooth this time, because before when we played it was laggy.
Yeah.
You shot, as you mentioned before, 3 real estate with it, right?
No, 2 real estates.
2 real estate.
2 real estate. So 2 days of shooting with the gimbal on the same batteries, actually.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
I did a half-an-hour shoot where I did put it to the test. So Klaus, can you run my movie? That was my video, and if you can run the behind the scenes on it while I'm talking, that was again pretty little shoot. We did it in half an hour. I did it alone, and I have my producer there to actually hold the camera to just take some small videos of me. It was really easy, as I mentioned before, it was really easy to do shoot with, because the gimbal just worked. It was easy to just set up the shot and just do it. And as you guys can see in just right there, I'm running, full on running next to a guy. I put the gimbal in lock mode, and then I just did a full run next to him.
And one good thing you can see you did there is I get this question quite a while. You get a side view when you walk. You need to walk straight.
That's true.
And as you can see, you put it in lock mode.
I put it in lock mode,
and then turned it to the side.
And then turned the gimbal to the
because
side.
then you can just go straight instead of going to the side.
Yeah, that's true.
While you're filming.
I also have seen people actually just holding gimbal sideways. What I also did was I took the screen out here, so I could actually see the screen in front of me. Yeah, exactly. So I had the right way seeing this image and then running. And then I just tried to have Matthias on the same place in the frame. So yeah, we did have some troubles with our stream in the beginning. So we will go through some of the things again. And it doesn't look like that Annie Chang was there. So I will just go through some of the things on the gimbal, and then we will choose a winner in like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Price. Let's talk price.
Yeah, I actually don't know what the price is.
I actually didn't either in the beginning. But the price is 659 euros. Including taxes, I'm hearing in my ear. And 699 for the combo set, where you're actually getting, again in euro, where you're getting the side grip and the extra batteries.
Yeah,
that's quite cheap.
So you said 659?
659 euros.
Yeah, so it's not a cheap gimbal?
It's not a cheap gimbal, but again, if you think about...
It's actually up here. Yeah. But it's nearly the same as the Crane 3S. What is the Crane 3S, do you know?
The Crane 3S is 7,000.
So
it's not, of course, it is not 100% the Crane 3S.
No.
But I would say that
it comes right in the middle of these two.
It does.
So, yeah.
It is a professional gimbal, I would say, 100%.
Yeah. I would say professional videographers use this one. Just like the we talked about before, the DJI Ronin S.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
It also actually come in a quite good box. I think it's this one, right? No, it isn't.
It's much smaller.
It's much smaller than this one. Let me just get the box.
Yeah,
oh yeah, there it is. I'm just getting it here. It's a small box.
And you can see the difference.
Let's compare it to
the Crane 3S, right?
Yeah.
Pretty big.
It is pretty big. And again, it fits inside of here, and it's almost a carrying case as well. Something I also mentioned when we did a live stream about the Crane 3S was that the hinges, I love the way you lock the case there.
Yeah,
it's much more easy to do. So yeah, but this is still a pre-production case. I know that some of the things doesn't fit 100% in there, but it is a pre-production case, so it's something they are going to change under that.
But if you know the old Crane 2, it has a totally different case.
It had.
And now they're going.
I hated that case.
Now they're going with these very lightweight cases where everything fits in neatly in place. Yeah.
Well, let's choose a winner.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's time for choosing a winner. Okay, I will do the same, and let's hope this third time is the charm. You just pick a spot.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah, there we go. Stop.
Julius Gomos dos Santos. If you're here, let us know, and
Julio
you will.
Gomez dos Santos. Where are you from? If you're here, please,
yeah, let us know where you're from.
from.
Julius Gomos dos Santos. There's new comments. Let's say if it's
coming in.
It's coming in. Again, we are 30 seconds behind, so we can see his comment in a few seconds. But in the meanwhile, we can go through the gimbal again.
How does it go with the Sony AX700, which has the Sony floating lens? Do you know anything about that?
The AX. It's a camcorder, I'm pretty sure. I think if you are out in camcorder style cameras, you should go with something like the Crane 3S. If it's long, it's much more better on the Crane 3S, but because the motor are so much more away from it.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, he didn't answer yet. But let's just give him a couple of minutes. Can I get the top view? So.
Oh yeah, there he is. There he is.
Oh, he's there. So Julius.
Julie, where are you from?
Where are you from? Let us know where you're from. As Peter and I actually also mentioned before, this gimbal are able to go where you have the opportunity to mount your camera as a Instagram mode. What do you call it? Vertical, right? Yeah. Vertical shooting. So you have, instead of you shoot the normal way, you put the camera up the other way. And it's just here, it's just a base plate, Manfrotto standard base plate, you just put it here. Pretty easy to balance again afterwards. It's the same things.
You can actually put it on there if you want. Is it on? No.
Yeah, it's closed. He was on the YouTube channel from Venezuela. Okay, interesting.
Can I pull this one out?
Yeah, just pull it out. Then we can't see it, but that's fine. And yeah, easily you can actually quite quickly, you have to loosen it.
Tighten this one.
Yeah, I did tighten it a lot before. I actually can't. I think I tied it too much. I can't get it out. Okay, I can't get it out at the moment.
Do we have any tools?
Not here, but that's fair enough.
All right. Pre-production model.
Yeah, it is a pre-production model.
I'd say I used it. I've tried to use it in the vertical mode.
Yeah.
And it works very well when you can get this off. I don't know why it's so tight.
I have no idea as well. Yeah. But if we just balance it again, we can go through the gimbal as well. Again, it has some new locks, and all the locks are on the same side of the gimbal. So you are actually able to lock it in the case when you have it on, and then put it on anything else than the case. It was something I know that you mentioned a lot in your YouTube channel when you talked about it.
Yeah, yeah. But the great thing is that the locks are beefier.
They are really beefier. It's easier to come to, but again, as you also said, that the locks are in another way. So you have to know where they are.
Yeah.
You have to
Once
get to know
used
them.
To it, it works very well.
Yeah, but they are very, very nice to have there.
Because they are kind of the same spot. They are just in front of you, here and there. So once you get used to it, it works very well.
They also changed the way where the focus and zoom motors inputs are. So now it's on the side here instead of on the button, as you can see on the top view right here. Now we have both the connections on the side here. And all the connectivity is in here, because now you are able to just take off the button plate here. If you are actually using the gimbal in the Instagram mode, for example, storage mode, you can just take out the side thing here, so you don't need that plate on it, on the camera as well. Again, bigger motors, much bigger motors. On the side here, you have the RE located pin, or the Zhiyun RE with the Qualitronic on both sides. And on the side, you also have a USB-C for charging. Yeah. And on the back side, you have the button, which is much better now. It's not a rubber button anymore. Yeah. Much better button.
And it's kind of molded into it and not sticking out.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not in the way.
So you can't accidentally press it anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the focus motor, it's much more better. So yeah. That was basically just a rundown in the gimbal. Again, Julius, very congratulations with the gimbal. We will contact you right away after this stream. And I hope that people had a blast on letting you guys show you the new gimbal here, the Zhiyun Crane 2S.
Yeah.
The delivery on this is mid-September. So I know that after today there will be more of them. I am impressive how Zhiyun have kept this such a big secret until now. People didn't know that it was able to come here. I didn't know that they would have a new gimbal on the way.
No, exactly.
I was so surprising.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks to everybody. Peter, thanks for joining me on this live. Thanks for Focus Nordic and Zhiyun for actually making this possible. It wouldn't be any possible. And Julius, congratulations with the gimbal. Again, you have to thank Zhiyun and Focus Nordic for the gimbal. They made it possible to actually use it. And thanks for Klaus Andersen from being behind the buttons. Thank you for watching. My name is Jibril, and I am a Focus Nordic ambassador.